Welcome everyone to another stream. It's the Zaniolo affair again. It's the Zaniolo deal again. It's the most important transfer news over the course of these next months, over the course of this summer. It will be the main topic when it comes to our transfers. The fans don't want to lose it. The fans don't want to lose Zaniolo. Mourinho doesn't want to lose Zaniolo. And this is why this is such a delicate deal, because it's the equivalent of a big player leaving a big club. I'm not saying Roma's a big club, and I'm not saying Zaniolo is Cristiano Ronaldo, but Zaniolo is, our biggest player, one of our biggest players at least. And we've already discussed how it can damage our future if we keep on selling our best players. This is something that we've seen doing, with Mo Salah, with Alisson in goal, with Nainggolan when he was in his prime. We've seen this happen, and the fans are scared to see this again. But there are a few change of plans, because a few weeks ago, Zaniolo, I would say, was very close onto joining Juventus this summer. Obviously, it wasn't official, but if journalists from, Sky Sports, reliable sources, start going and start talking about Zaniolo to Juventus more often, if his agents a few weeks ago said that there might be a deal going on with Juventus, then there is something in the air which tells us Zaniolo will go to Juventus. However, in these last couple hours, we've kind of stepped backwards, because it seems as if Zaniolo has changed idea and wants to renew his contract with this club. In this live stream, we've already talked about how Zaniolo leaving will damage our future, so I'm not going to spend time talking about that again. What I do want to talk about, though, is this change of plans. Because once again, this is not official, right? This is not, 100% Zaniolo is staying. Zaniolo could still leave. But what the fans are retrieving from these last couple hours is that Zaniolo's thinking about this more than he usually does, and that he could have potentially changed the idea. Now, obviously, a few weeks ago, Zaniolo wasn't like, I want to join Juventus. And this is something to understand to then get a full idea at the end of this live stream. Something to acknowledge is the fact that Zaniolo a few weeks ago did not say, I want to leave Roma, I want to join Juventus. The problem which Zaniolo wants is an increase of his wages, which obviously a club like Roma needs to limit. So this rumor of Zaniolo moving to Juventus is not from his own mind. I want to join to Juventus. It is partly related to him, but in a way, he's always said that he loves this club and he will, he'll renew his contract with this club. This is something he said since he became a new player. However, Zaniolo has a very difficult attitude. And attitude is something we will 100% touch on today. How is it that 1 week he's like, I want an increase in wages. If I don't have an increase in wages, then I'm sorry, I need to leave. And then now we are retrieving information saying, okay, let me see your compromise and then I'll think about it. The situation right now is not, you can even not pay me and I'll stay. Zaniolo hasn't said this. But what Zaniolo is open to is negotiations and compromises to try and, higher his wages, but maybe inserting a few bonuses. And Roma are starting to create a plan to then present to Zaniolo and his agents, and then they'll discuss it. But the real update is the fact that there is a difference of motive since a few weeks ago. And this difference lies in the fact that Zaniolo could renew his contract, because there are Sky Sports journalists which have said that in the last couple of days, Zaniolo's renewal of his contract is closer than ever. Which, yes, journalists say bullshit sometimes, but, I'm not saying to believe in them, but from going to one end saying Zaniolo will be very close to Juventus. The renewal is closer than ever. There has to be a change of mentality in a way. And I'm not sure if this change in mentality from Zaniolo has happened after good performances, after discussions with Mourinho and his agents, after discussions with Thiago Pinto. I'm really not sure. But obviously something has happened. Because it's not easy 2 weeks ago to go, if you're not increasing my wages, I'm sorry, I will leave, to now when you're like, okay, let's find a compromise and I'll renew the contract. So something has inevitably happened between him, maybe with Mourinho. But something which I think has, in a way, made him think about this negotiation is the performances, because this leads me on to the attitude. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in this live stream and you're watching my face on your screen, please like the live stream right now. Let's try and get 10 likes. I feel like Zaniolo's attitude is a very horrid attitude. This is why Zaniolo is the most hated player in the Serie A. That's by far a statement. And you see, his attitude means, and seeing his attitude, other fan bases start hating and pointing his eye on him and, targeting him. Zaniolo's attitude is a very complicated attitude. We can spend hours and hours speaking about this. We can spend hours speaking about how bad Zaniolo's attitude is. And this is 100% a factor which he needs to improve on. Because it's not like he's a very difficult person. Obviously his attitude has been demoralized after his two consecutive injuries, 2 consecutive broken ACLs on 2 completely different legs. This has definitely given a push effect on his attitude. But for him to go from this level to higher above, his attitude needs to improve. Because I think, obviously, Zaniolo is one of those players which is not continuous, is not consistent. He plays an amazing match, and then for 2 matches he doesn't play well. He's one of those players. And the first thing to do, if you want to be more consistent, is work on your bloody attitude. The attitude, the morale, and the approach to games, I have said it many times, is 100% more important than actually being talented. It is way more important. Because if all that goes on in Zaniolo's mind a few weeks ago was, I want to join Juventus, that has a knock-on effect on his performances. But his performances lately have been up and down. An example of this is Atalanta. Against Atalanta, he played perfectly. He gave an assist, he pressed, he was aggressive, he played a perfect match. And then 1 week later, yesterday, he played possibly the worst match of the season so far. Or even his career. You see, this is what will increase Zaniolo's value and what will increase his desire to stay in this team. Because 98% of this deal, of Zaniolo renewing his contract, Zaniolo not renewing his contract, Zaniolo possibly going to Juventus, is on him. Because this club has made it clear that Zaniolo can have what he could have at a club like Real Madrid. They have made it clear to him, we cannot increase your wages fully. They have told him this, and he knows this. And this is just the morale of this club in a way, This is the not, how do you call it? It's the juicy part of this deal. It's all on his backs. We can't do anything more than possibly finding a compromise. If Zaniolo's asking for a galactical amount of money, this club can't do anything about it. And it all lays on him. So it's all on his backs. Roma can't do much. It's all on him and his desire to play. And his desire to play for this club will 100% increase if he increases his performances and if he becomes more consistent. And if he becomes more consistent, he will see how great and how profoundly amazing he will find to play for this club. You know, Zaniolo's attitude is a very difficult attitude. We could call psychologists from all around the world to examine Zaniolo's attitude. It would be a very hard task. This guy's a young guy and has got a potential. But one thing which is very important for him is not to turn these potentials into Cristiano Ronaldo's. Because, once again, just like a lot of academy players, if Zaniolo starts going, I have won the faith of my fans, I am a hero according to my fans, I can even not perform well and they will love me. This is what he needs to avoid. Because it's completely wrong. The fans will love you once, the fans will love you twice, the fans will love you 3 times. But the 4th time, if he doesn't honor this shirt, the fans will start turning against him. Look at PSG. When in 10 years ago, when in a million years did we think PSG fans would boo at Leo Messi? Neymar is understandable because Neymar is just, I'm not even gonna get into Neymar because speaking about attitude, Neymar's probably even more complicated. But when in 10 years ago, who would have ever thought that Lionel Messi would have been booed in front of fans, football fans? It's because, yes, he's not finding himself there. He's not enjoying life at PSG. But, the fact that he's Leo Messi, in his head, everyone knows it's Leo Messi. And the fans just love you for that. You see, that's what happens with PSG fans. And Zaniolo needs to learn this. We love you. We love this guy. We adore him. He will have a massive future. He just needs to work on his attitude. Because his attitude is disastrous. It's appalling. And he needs to improve. If he improves his attitude, trust me, it will improve everything. But, that's the psychological part of Zaniolo. What I want to talk about today is the deal, because apparently there has been an update which, as I said before, does bring some optimism, because Zaniolo apparently has decided to renew his contract. Obviously, it's not confirmed yet. We still need to see in the next coming months. But I think Roma's found a compromise, and what they're starting to find in these next couple of weeks is to try and plan a compromise to then offer to Zaniolo and his agents. And the compromise that Thiago Pinto and Mourinho are working on is exactly this. Let me read it to you because I found it before. There you go. Well, Roma is his agents have spoken again this week and have said that he is ready to renew his contract with Roma even tomorrow. But obviously, he does want an increase in wages. And what Roma is offering is to try and find an agreement is to increase his wages at 2.2 million, which are his actual wage is 2.2 million, and Roma is disposed to higher the wages to 3.5 million. That's an increase, and now we will see if that's what Zaniolo likes, and if Zaniolo likes this deal, if Zaniolo enjoys this increase of wages, as his agent said, he will sign his contract even tomorrow. That just puts to mind he loves this club, and that does also puts to mind that there has been something going on which has kind of changed his morale. Because from 2 weeks ago, his agents were going, okay, we might have an agreement with Juventus, and 2 weeks later, he's gonna renew his contract even tomorrow. It's just about finding the perfect deal which Zaniolo likes. But if you ask me, does Zaniolo want to renew his contract? 100%. And that's just the way it is. The fans love him, and he owes a lot to the fans. The fans have been with him over the course of his plenty of injuries. So he needs to give something back. And he's said it many times. His objective is to be the new Totti. But obviously, he's on to a bad start, because if you only think about money, you'll never be like Totti. But if he does renew his contract, I can see him having a good captain. Captain, I'm really not sure. I think I just said one of the most weirdest bullshit ever. Because Zaniolo's to become the captain of Roma, he needs to improve his attitude. I think whichever manager you put sitting on Roma's bench will never captain Zaniolo. His attitude is it's just too fragile. It's just too weird. You know, he'll get mad at his teammates too often. So right now Zaniolo's good where he is, playing on that right wing, playing next to Tammy. And obviously the next thing he needs to focus on is Vitesse and then Lazio. But then in the meantime, in the background of his brain, he does also need to think about this offer which Roma is offering him, to try and find a compromise and to let him renew his contract as fast as possible. Will Lazio be in the mud this week? Do you mean today against Venezia, or do you mean this weekend against us? I'm not going to talk about the derby now because we've got Vitesse first. And if we start focusing on the derby before Vitesse, then it's just bad. But if the question is today, then I do think they'll win against Venezia at home. In my opinion, while injured, he kept reading hype about himself. So while he wasn't training and improving, the hype only continued to build. Zaniolo's too selfish in my opinion, says Anwin Badu. He should first work on his game, then the salary offers will come flooding in. That's exactly what I think. Win derby, but get eliminated by Vitesse, or vice versa, pick one. Very tough question. Part of me says Conference League, but part of me says derby. I'm actually, in a way, I'll be happier to win the derby, because I don't think we'll get close in winning the Conference League if we play like we played yesterday. So I would much rather win the derby and hype the fans. I mean, if we get eliminated by Vitesse, we're not winning the derby for sure, because our morale just getting destroyed. But I don't know, it's a tough question. Part of me says derby, part of me says I don't know, it's a tough question. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you tomorrow with the preview for Vitesse. On Thursday, we've got an advantage, we need to keep the advantage, and we need to step up the way we played against Udinese. Because if we play like that against Udinese, we've seen Vitesse, they're a fast team, they're going to slaughter us. So yeah, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're 20 subscribers away from 2.1k. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button in this live stream, and as soon as it becomes a video as well, and comment in the comments your impression on Zaniolo's attitude and this change of plans, because it seems that Zaniolo does want to renew his contract. I posted a post on YouTube. Obviously, I'm heading to the derby this weekend, filming the greatest video which this channel has ever experienced, and I want you guys to be in it. So send a 10-second clip over at info.thesimonShow@gmail.com saying your prediction for the match over at info.thesimonShow@gmail.com. And 10-second clip saying your prediction. I'll choose 5 of them. Due date is Saturday, and I'll pop them in the vlog going out on Sunday after the derby. It will be a cracker, and it will be 10 times better if we win that derby. Follow me on Instagram at @TheRomaGuy_, and subscribe to my second channel in description below, all about travel. I'm filming some content on that in a couple of months, because I may or may not be leaving my country. Hope we will sell him, to be honest. Has not been good, loses the ball too much, and his decision making is lackluster. He would be expensive as well. Good profit, says Saucy Boy Deal 1079. Okay.